Why are the Avengers in comics different from the MCU? Hey there, Marvel enthusiasts and curious minds alike. If you've ever found yourself wondering why the Avengers you see on the silver screen aren't exactly the same as the ones in the comic books, you're not alone. Today we're tackling the intriguing question, why are the Avengers in comics different from the MCU? Whether you're a seasoned comic book reader or someone who fell in love with Marvel through the blockbuster movies, understanding these differences can enrich your appreciation of both mediums. We'll explore the origins of Earth's mightiest heroes in the comics, the birth of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and the various reasons behind the changes made when adapting these iconic characters for film. The origins of the Avengers in comics. Let's set our time machines to the early 1960s, a golden era for comic books. In 1963, the legendary duo of Stan Lee and Jack Kirby introduced the world to a brand new team of superheroes, the Avengers. This team was Marvel's answer to DC's Justice League. But wait, the original lineup might surprise you. The first Avengers team comprised Iron Man, Thor, Hulk, Ant-Man, and Wasp. That's right. No Captain America just yet, and certainly no Black Widow or Hawkeye. Just a few issues in Avengers number 4, the team discovered Captain America frozen in ice and revived him, bringing the Star-Spangled Man into the modern age. Over the years, the Avengers roster expanded and changed numerous times. Significant story arcs like the Kree-Skrull War, Secret Invasion, and the original Civil War captivated readers with their complex plots and character development. The birth of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, MCU. Now fast forward to 2008. Marvel Studios released Iron Man, starring Robert Downey Jr., and it was an instant hit. This wasn't just another superhero movie. It was the beginning of something much bigger, the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Marvel Studios had an ambitious plan, to create an interconnected series of films where characters and storylines would overlap, culminating in epic team-up movies. Kevin Feige, the mastermind behind the MCU, envisioned a cohesive universe that would unfold over multiple phases. Initially, Marvel Studios focused on characters like Iron Man, Thor, Hulk, and Captain America. These heroes were chosen because Marvel still held the film rights to them. The success of these early films proved that audiences were hungry for a connected superhero universe. Marvel Studios' careful planning and commitment to character development set the stage for the MCU to become a global phenomenon. Licensing and character rights issues. So why didn't we see characters like Spider-Man or the X-Men in those early MCU films? The answer lies in the complicated world of licensing and character rights. Back in the late 1990s, Marvel Comics faced financial difficulties and sold the film rights of some of their most popular characters to other studios to stay afloat. Spider-Man swung over to Sony Pictures, while the X-Men and Fantastic Four went to 20th Century Fox. These licensing deals had a significant impact on which heroes could be featured in the MCU. However, over time, Marvel negotiated deals to bring some of these characters into the MCU. The acquisition of 20th Century Fox by Disney in 2019 brought the X-Men and Fantastic Four back under Marvel's umbrella. These rights issues forced Marvel Studios to get creative with their character selection, often elevating lesser-known heroes to the forefront. Adapting comics to film. Adapting stories from comics to film is like translating a novel into a 2-hour movie. You can't include everything, and some things just won't fit the new medium. Marvel Studios faced the challenge of condensing complex, decades-long story arcs into films. For example, in the comics, Ultron is a villainous robot created by Hank Pym, aka Ant-Man. But in Avengers Age of Ultron, Ultron is the creation of Tony Stark and Bruce Banner. This change made sense within the context of the MCU. Similarly, the Civil War storyline in the comics is a massive event. The MCU's Captain America Civil War had to streamline this into a more personal conflict. Characters were also omitted or altered due to licensing constraints or to serve the film's narrative better. These adaptations required balancing respect for the source material with the practicalities of filmmaking, audience and market considerations. When making blockbuster movies, understanding your audience is key. The MCU needed to appeal not just to comic book fans, but to general audiences around the world. Comic readers and moviegoers represent different demographics. Market research showed that characters like Iron Man and Thor had the potential to resonate with movie audiences. Global appeal was also a significant factor. The success of Black Panther highlighted the importance of representation and diversity. Cultural shifts influenced updates to character representations. Strong female characters like Black Widow and Captain Marvel were given prominent roles. By considering these factors, Marvel Studios ensured that their films were not only commercially successful, but also culturally impactful. Creative decisions by Marvel Studios. Behind every great film is a team of creative minds working tirelessly to bring stories to life. Marvel Studios' approach involved collaborating with talented directors, writers, and producers. For instance, the Guardians of the Galaxy were relatively obscure in the comics, but director James Gunn infused the films with quirky humor and heartfelt storytelling. Marvel also made conscious casting choices to promote diversity and inclusion. Directors like Taika Waititi injected fresh energy into the MCU with Thor Ragnarok, embracing a vibrant aesthetic. These creative decisions allowed the MCU to keep the franchise innovative and exciting. Differences in characterizations and storylines. Delving into specific differences, let's talk about Hawkeye. In the comics, Clint Barton is often portrayed with a sarcastic wit. The MCU version, played by Jeremy Renner, presents a more subdued and tactical Hawkeye. Nick Fury's background also differs. Comic book Fury is a World War II veteran. The MCU opted for a contemporary version. Then there's Thanos. In the comics, he's obsessed with death. The MCU reimagines his motivation to be about restoring balance. These changes were made to ensure that the characters and their stories resonated with movie audiences. Impact on fans and the Marvel brand. The differences between the comics and the MCU have had a profound impact on fans and the Marvel brand as a whole. Many fans appreciate the fresh takes on beloved characters. The MCU has also served as a gateway for new fans to discover the comics. The synergy between movie releases and comic sales is evident. However, some fans prefer the comic versions and feel that certain adaptations don't do justice to the source material. Overall, the blend of mediums has strengthened the Marvel brand, making it a dominant force in entertainment and popular culture. In conclusion, the Avengers we see in the comics differ from their MCU counterparts due to a variety of factors. Licensing hurdles, the challenges of adapting complex narratives to film, audience demographics, and creative visions. Marvel Studios had to navigate character rights issues. Adapting the rich tapestry of comic book lore required thoughtful changes to character backgrounds and plot lines. Market considerations and the desire to appeal to a global audience led to updates in character representation and storytelling approaches. Despite the differences, both the comics and the MCU have succeeded in captivating audiences. Adaptation and evolution are essential in keeping stories fresh and engaging. So whether you're a fan of the classic comic book adventures or you prefer the cinematic spectacle of the MCU, there's a wealth of stories to explore. After all, the Marvel Universe is vast and ever-expanding. There's always something new to discover.